I'm just dying to have one year where these 4-5 year events which happen, every 4-5 years they don't happen. And I get one normal year. I thought 2 months of World Cup will not hit us so badly. But what happened, India kept doing well, which is good. As a cricket buff, I was happy. But not as a somebody who's running 1700 screens.
Your dhanda depends on it.
As a company, I've come out with this passport. In 1 month, you can watch 4 movies at 349. 99 rupees unlimited offer. Father is telling the children, इसको भरो, बाहर चलते हैं. वो कहता है मैंने पिक्चर देखनी है. इसको तो लो पहले. I've got videos of customers coming, not watching the movie, and filling up and going. Please, there's an infrastructure. When you go to a hotel, look, you can't compare me from a street vendor.
Correct.
I think it is extremely obvious that there's an environment in which you're sitting.
Correct.
And having that popcorn Pepsi. So my job and my entire team's job every single day is how do we increase footfalls?
Have you always wondered how a film makes money? Are you one of those people in your friends group who's always talking about box office numbers? Or are you curious to know what goes in and around a producer's mind? Who is a producer? Who spends the money? Who makes the money? Budget kitna lagta hai? Profit kitna banta hai? Hi, I'm Vanita Kohli Khandekar, and I'm going to take you on this journey beyond the box office. I'll be chatting with producers, studio heads, trade analysts, directors, and even script testers. People who have money and some people who don't. Don't worry, मैं उनसे उनके on-set experiences के बारे में नहीं पूछूंगी. किसने कौन सा prank किया ये भी नहीं पूछूंगी. So stay tuned to Beyond the Box Office.
Hi Ajay. Welcome to Beyond the Box Office.
Thank you for having me.
You know, you and I have spoken over the years, and from one screen in 1991 to the tie-up with Priya Village Roadshow in I think 1995.
95.
To listing in 2006.
Yeah.
And to various mergers on the way with Cinemax, Inox, Satyam.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing a few.
Yeah.
But PVR Inox is now India's largest cinema chain. 1,744 screens last I checked.
Right.
Over 6,200 crore in revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the guys who know the movie business like nobody else. And that's what we want to dig into. So welcome again to Beyond the Box Office.
Thank you.
First of all, by the way, I must tell my audience that we are at the refurbished
PVR Lido.
On the Juhu Tara Road in Bombay. It's a theatre I used to come to as a kid. So it's very strange for me to see these 3 screens with 326 seating, etc.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. And most importantly, I want you to take my audience to where PVR Inox is right now in terms of numbers and in terms of its place in the movie ecosystem in today.
Sure. First, as I said, thank you very much for having me on this show. This particular property is an old single-screen cinema with 300 odd seats. When I saw the property and the developer, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, he was very keen that PVR takes it over and refurbishes it. I thought a 3-plex would be better than doing a single screen because, as I was mentioning earlier, sometimes you play one movie for 4 shows or 5 shows in a day, and just in case it doesn't do well, your occupancies really come down. So therefore, multiplexing, which I've been doing since 1995 now, does that because India is a country where supply is not an issue. You get 1,700 films even post-COVID every year. And so therefore, why should you be just married to one movie where you can offer a multitude of choices to the consumer and plus you can optimize your own occupancies by playing 3 to 4 or 5 films. 6 films you can play in a 3-plex. Morning, evening, and all that.
Because the variation you can do with shows, pricing, timing,
Correct.
etc.
And you can cater to different tastes and all that. So therefore, the developer was kind enough to agree, and we carved it out. So basically, a tribute to Indian films. If you see all the posters, and then we also did the facade. Sorry, I get very excited about the cinemas if you ask me.
I know that. I've interviewed you now for like 15 years, I think.
So I'm quite excited about this. So yeah, that's the story of this cinema. As far as what you asked me something about.
I said, where is PVR in the Indian movie?
Correct.
You're the largest, so everybody likes to know.
Well, largest, even pre-merger, we had the highest number of screens, but that's never something that I even think about because I have to make sure all my stakeholders are happy. That's the first thing. So whether I was running a single screen cinema way back in 1990 and I was, literally as for fun. I didn't have to, but for fun, cutting tickets
Mm.
and for fun ushering.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, I did that
Oh.
because my main business, dad's business, was trucking.
Huh.
But I used to enjoy that in the evening. So morning I used to go to the trucking company.
Huh.
In the evening, I used to, me and Selena, my wife, used to do that.
Hmm.
So even then, consumer, that one stakeholder who spends 3 hours in an auditorium
Mhm.
is the most important thing for me. Because if he's happy, everything else falls in place. If he's not happy, then everything will go awry. So I think currently also my only objective is to make sure that no matter how many screens we have in which part of the country, the consumer experience is very, very important. Of course, stakes have become higher.
Mm.
Like you said, we've got 1,750 odd. I think the 56, 756 screen.
Mm.
We are in 120 odd cities
Mm.
now, and we're a listed company with so many widely held stockholders. So we have to make sure that the optimization is for every stakeholder. So
Mhm.
we get the EBITDA margins, the ROCs
Mm.
that we're looking for. Our employees, which are 25,000 people, they're happy.
Mm.
Film fraternity is happy because we're joined at the hip with them.
Mm.
This is symbiotic relationship with them. Every ticket that gets cut after GST is split between the two. They are happy. The developer is happy. So I think it's a trifecta of three things that affect our business. I'm only one part of it.
Mhm.
One is the consumer,
Mm.
the demand side. One is the supply side, which is the film fraternity. And I come in only when the real estate. So I'm just a venue.
Mhm.
I'm a venue who has to make sure that the experience of people when they come out of their homes
Mhm.
is enhanced. They said, oh, wow, this I can't get at home. Even if they've got a home theater, they've got a plasma, they got everything at their disposal, whether you're a demographic who can pay 1,500 rupees or a demographic who can pay 100 rupees, they must say, wow, you know what, I'm glad I'm out. And this I can't get at home. That's the only thing which is the number one priority for me. And at every price point, I have to satisfy the customer. I know your next question is going to be...
No, my next question, actually, I have a question on pricing because that's the thing which you and I have discussed several
Sure,
times.
sure.
But before I come to pricing, there's a question, and I think it will set the context for you to discuss the pricing question. India is the largest film producing country.
Yeah,
Any given year we made anything from 1,800 to 2,000 films.
right.
Crazy market. 25% of everything that's viewed on TV is films. But we have 8,000, 9,000 screens
Yeah.
at the end for 1.4 billion people.
Yeah,
Badly underscreened.
yeah.
Okay. So everybody says, per screen penetration kitna kam hai, per capita screen penetration. But yet, our highest capacity utilization will be 25-30%.
Hmm.
I was looking at PVR's FY 23-24 numbers, and it's 25%, 26% if I
26,
was to
yeah.
if I was to stretch the decimal
Yeah.
points. So, what is after all this fuss, the largest chain in this country has sold 151 million tickets.
Yeah, yeah,
As a country, we've sold less than 1 billion tickets.
yeah.
What is it that does not seem to help this market to extend? What is holding
Well,
it?
you see, the thing is that the world pre-COVID for our sector
Mm.
is different to what it is post-COVID.
Mhm.
So we are at the moment at this phase of our evolution.
Mhm.
We've reached a stage where there's a lot of confusion out there,
ठीक
a
है.
lot of disruption that has happened.
Mhm.
If COVID had not happened,
Mhm.
okay, then I think the trajectory would have been like this.
Mm.
We were growing at about 300 to 400 screens. Not we, India as a country was still reaching almost 500 screens a year, and which is not bad. Of course, China overgrew. We keep making comparisons to
Yeah.
China, but China grew always overbuilt a little bit. I think 70, 80,000 screens.
From 11,000.
Yeah, was a bit too much.
Mm.
We are still joined at the hip with shopping centers, malls, or single screens like this getting converted into multiplexes.
Mhm.
So I think the pace was okay. One
Mhm.
can argue maybe we could have added about 1,000 odd screens a year.
Mm.
But 500, 600 was still okay because you also have to make sure every screen is viable.
Mm.
There's no point just building capacity
Mm.
which doesn't get utilized. But post-COVID, everything has got disrupted a little bit. And it's taking longer than I anticipated. It's
Mhm.
already been 2 years.
Mhm.
So I thought that when RRR and KGF came, okay, it's a home
हो गया.
run.
हाँ.
Then when Gadar and Shah Rukh's movies came last year, again home run. But that's not happening. Still, there is volatility. So movies either do exceedingly well or they go down so much that the troughs go under literally underground.
Mhm.
So I think some people, a big chunk of the consumer is saying, I'm too lazy to go out. So we've lost a consumer there. So like the number 151 you said was 170. 170 million we were getting pre-COVID with lesser number of screens. and now we're getting 150
with more
with more
screens.
screens. So definitely we've lost a chunk. Who is just habits change. They're saying we're sitting at home. It's not they're watching movies. They're just watching content. They're consuming content. It can be
Sure.
movies coming after 8 weeks. It can be TV shows. It can be content on Instagram or whatever they're doing. So that's why currently again the pace has slowed down a bit because of now people are again waiting and watching what is going to happen. But if that massive event, the coup de grace, had not happened, a body blow to the industry, then I don't think the pace would have stopped. So that's why you're seeing these occupancies also low. They were 32%. And by the way, 32% is not bad. It's very high compared to global standards.
Yeah, I was about to. So
Yeah.
US or Europe
They
is
were
not
at,
a very
at, at
big
maybe early teens
early teens.
or mid-teens, because occupancy is so people talk about occupancy comparing us straight away to airlines and hotels. We are not the same business because we have capacity that is at 5 shows a day, and it varies according to the length of the movie. So I think most of the cinema operators like us, we actually do our feasibility of any property and not more than 30% occupancy anyway. Because we say how much capital should we be spending and how much should be our operating expenditure so that we get our money back in 4 years' time. So 25% IRR type of, we look at. That's at least going in. After that, God knows what happens. Sometimes in South, we have places which have given us a 1-year payback, because when you talk about 26% occupancy, that's the average of the country. Okay. But India is such a disparate market. In the South, you have 70-80% occupancy. Some
But
of
at
our
lower
cinemas.
ticket prices.
No, Andhra Pradesh is the only one which has got controlled. But
Tamil Nadu is also controlled.
Tamil Nadu is now with recliners and IMAX is pushed up to about 200. So our average ticket price, by the way, is 210. So when people say ticket prices are high, because they only look at a Juhu weekend Saturday night premium show and think extrapolate that as the entire thing. All they sit in recliner in Lux and pay 1,500 rupees, and they say that's the ticket price. So ticket price, because we've got cinemas in every city, every catchment, and I have to cater to a very large audience. My ATP is not more than 250, 260. Last quarter was very low.
Yeah, it was, I think last quarter, I checked it up. You were at 259.
259. This quarter, which is running, is low because we introduced 349 rupees passport, where for 85 rupees, you can watch a movie. I don't think we can go lower than that.
No, I'll come to ATP because the average ticket price for my viewer.
I just have one more point to say. So when we talk about India's got less screens, screen to seat ratio also has to be looked at. Okay. I'm getting a little technical here.
Yeah, no problem.
So there are 5,000 single screen cinemas in India.
Correct.
Those 5,000 single screen cinemas, each cinema has got 1,000 seats. So the capacity of that is 50,000 seats. Now they can very well be. So when we compare, so actually they are not 5,000 screens, they're 20,000 screens. If you compare it to the US or China. So China, every screen has only got 250 seats. So this 5,000 is a large capacity.
Okay.
It's about 5,000 screens multiplied by 1,000 is a lot of capacity. So
but it's not multiplex, no?
No, it's not multiplex. But we're talking about screens first.
Okay.
So we're saying when you talk about screens, so I always say that India's got 5,000 multiplied by 4, that's 20,000 plus another 3,000. So 23,000 screens we've got. If we were to do apple to apple, sometimes we do apple to pineapple. So single screen is very, very a huge capacity. And those do well, by the way, in South. Because in South, I just love the way consumers react to movies, and the film fraternity reacts to movies. So therefore, you need those capacities. So even when I build a cinema even a multiplex, we have a multiplex in Palazzo in Chennai. It's got 9 screens, but the seats are 3,500.
Oh.
3,500 seats. So because you want that capacity over the weekend. You want that capacity when Pushpa 2 comes. Because we are all working towards that capacity to get utilized and then make up for the lull periods in the year.
So we still don't know where we are, what is holding us back. So you think that the current rate at which you and other chains, say, Mirage or, many of the others, Carnival, many of the others, the rate at which all of you are expanding, do you think it will help increase per capita screen count? Will it also help And what is the effect that you mentioned South India? South India is one of the areas where you're investing the most. You have put 570, 580 screens there.
Yeah.
I think you just opened in Kerala
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Why is that market so different? Why has it not been hit by streaming the way other markets seem to have been?
It's just India, India as well as anybody else does, or even better than me. It's such a heterogeneous market.
Yeah.
And everywhere people are behaving differently. But one of the factors which is concerning our industry is that the supply is incredible over there. So the consumption and the supply are more than anywhere else, which means they consume Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, English, and Hindi. So the consumption of 6 different languages, not dubbed, original, is happening over there. The moment you keep moving northwards, the consumption decreases because you're only consuming either Hindi or Marathi if here, which are few movies. English only if it is like a massive blockbuster. English has also got impacted because of the strike and
in
all
Hollywood,
that. And and north if you go, then there is Sunny Deol and there is Diljit Dosanjh. So what happens is, so therefore, because the supply is also less of the kind of movies that people want to watch, therefore the movie going index, which is the number of times people go and watch a movie in a year, is much lesser in north, west, east.
Absolutely.
And then there's much more there. So therefore south is a very different it's a very different demographic, very different contours it has got than any other place. So I therefore I said, when you say about 26% occupancy, it is the west, east, north that has brought it down. If the entire country behaved the way South does, I think more screens would have come up. Many more screens would have come up.
You know what you're saying? Max data just now I was doing, and
I haven't read it, by the way.
No, it is about 8 or 9 times a single user goes to the theater. But in the north it's 2, 3.
Yeah, correct.
So even in the west it may be a little more. I think the Marathi cinegoer is a little more. One of the things we've seen in the last 2-3 years is movies are working the domestic crossover, as you and I have talked about. Malayalam movies working in markets which don't speak Malayalam. For example, Manjumal Boys did very well in non-Malayalam
240 or 250 crores.
So there are two things. One, films working beyond their core markets and hitting national markets. So I'm not just RRR or Pushpa, but even smaller films which could be doing well. And secondly, this is something you had told me, that we always want that medium hits. The Drishyams, the Oh My God. Are we seeing more of that this year? Crew Hai.
I read your article about that recently as well.
Did I?
You mentioned it, and you hit the nail on the head. I think that's the point I'm trying to make about post-COVID. Post-COVID, some of these movies, which are stopping at 40 crores, I think they could have gone to 80 to 100 crores.
Okay.
So there is an audience which still has this perception, and PVR is working very hard towards removing that perception that movies will come very quickly
on OTT.
Even though 8-week gap is there, that FOMO that was there earlier, that if I don't watch this movie and my friends or my peers or my children or my family is talking about it, I'm missing out. That FOMO has gone. They're saying, nahi, dekh lenge. Then they realize after some time that it is coming after 8 weeks. But by then they've already made up their mind, they'll watch it at home only. So only very few, like I would say 12th Fail, we keep talking about it. And, brilliant movie. That did over 80 crores. And Lapata Ladies easily could have gone. It stopped. I think I frankly found Madgaon Express also really funny.
Yeah,
that stopped at 35-40. Crew crossed 80.
Yeah, I think I looked at it at 70 and I said, this is the film that you had.
Correct. I thought that did well. So I think they're there, but they're not as many as they used to be pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, we used to have a lot of these 100 crore medium budget movies, let's call them, which used to end up doing 80, 100, 120. But वो slowly हो रहा है. मतलब Shaitan, for example, again, there was no reason for it to do so well. It did that well. On the other hand, I was disappointed Maidan didn't do that well. Forget about the budget. I thought Maidan was a great film. Shrikant has done well. Shrikant will also probably end up doing 60, 70. I think so.
Doesn't that help? These films,
of course,
are they sort of removing the vagaries of the business in
bread and butter? Shah Rukh is jam.
This is always jam.
This is bread and butter, 100%. You need these movies because these are sleeper hits. They are the ones that fill up the cinemas. I mean, I can't even emphasize the importance of these movies. So I'm on the same page as you.
So my point is the medium hits and the other languages doing well. Is that not helping ramp up or sort of de-risking things a bit as far as
Yeah, definitely they help, but it hasn't helped us that much currently. I mean, I must confess, because some incredible events happen, which I didn't think will have such an impact on our business. Number one, World Cup. I thought 2 months of World Cup will not hit us so badly. But what happened? India kept doing well, which is good. As a cricket buff, I was happy, but not as somebody who's running 1,700 screens. And then and also all the matches were on the weekend. Number two. Number three, they were all in India. So basically, all three factors, if you put together, it impacted business. Then this is one thing that I have a issue with the film industry. But they stopped releasing movies as well. Then the double whammy happens. So there are
the pipeline is clogged.
So a lot of people I know, my friends and family, and obviously we hear from social media, our own loyalty program people. Why aren't you releasing movies? Because not everybody wants to watch the cricket match. So then that double whammy affects us even more. On one hand, there is cricket which is impacting you just on that one day, but suddenly movies only don't come. Then why would people come to see to the cinemas? So that was one factor that happened last year, last quarter, third quarter. This year, elections. Again, they did not release the movies during the elections. And the longest election in the history of elections. So 44 days.
It was a web series of an election.
So 44 days means 2 months are gone. Again, movies didn't get released. So when I looked at the April-May lineup a few months ago, and I was doing the budgeting with my company, April looked very good. May looked very good. Then suddenly we got these announcements. We're shifting the movie to June. We're shifting to July. We don't want to,
Which movies were these?
A lot of movies got shifted. Like, for example, even I think Chandu Champion got shifted to June. Kalki was in May, got released, shifted to June. Something else got shifted to July now. So a lot of this happened. So I think that's why the numbers are not. I'm just dying to have 1 year where these 4-5 year events which happen every 4-5 years, they don't happen, and I get one normal year. So I personally feel that 25-26, and you can record me, you can do what you feel like. I think 25-26 is going to be very good.
Because the Hollywood slate will also open up by then.
So Hollywood will open up. So no, I'm not it's no rocket science. This year, no Shah Rukh movies there, no Salman movies there, no Aamir ki ek aa rahi hai, Sitare Zameen Par. Then there's no big Ranbir no movie. He's already exhausted doing 3-4 films last year. All Shamshera, I don't know what all, Brahmastra, Animal, then Jhuti Main Makar. So 4 films came in the last 18 months. Ranveer did 2-3 films last year. Ranveer only one ensemble film, Singham, whatever number it is now, that's coming. So you don't have that. You only have Ajay Devgan, Akshay, some horror movies like Bhool Bhulaiya 3, Stree 2. So a lot of Rajkumar Rao, a lot of Kartik Aaryan. So it's a good year. You never know. Anything can happen with these movies as well. But on paper, at least, they're not looking like blockbusters. But as I said, you never know. Nobody thought OMG 2 will be a blockbuster. Nobody thought Gadar 2 will be a blockbuster. But 25-26, at least the lineup is looking very blockbustery. So I think that's where no elections, no big event. Like this time there is Olympics as well.
IPL to hoga.
IPL नहीं अब फर्क पड़ता है. IPL fatigue पड़ जाता है. And luckily, I thought people got fatigued this time. And luckily, film fraternity still releases movies. This year was more...
But, just quickly on this, do you think there's because I remember talking to Jyoti Deshpande last month, and she said, this 8-week window, people always have the option of OTT in their pocket.
Yeah,
she said,
of course they have.
No, is there a case for increasing the 8-week window, renegotiating it, or there is no need for that?
I'd love to. I think it should be 12 weeks. I think the difference in abroad and India, which I think the industry understands, is that over there, the 47-day window is a PVOD window or TVOD window. So PVOD or TVOD for your viewers is transactional video on demand or paid video on demand, which means that you are paying like you pay on Apple or Prime, whether $5 or $10. I'm talking internationally. India, I don't know, haven't paid because I don't watch on PVOD. So that's the transactional part. That's 47 days. But your SVOD, which is free, literally, because Netflix is for free. that you're paying.
Netflix is not free.
Free, free in the sense all the movies get clubbed together.
Okay.
All
It's
the
part of a
content.
subscription service.
Subscription service. But
Mm.
then if you break it down,
Mm.
you're paying a fraction for watching that content.
But you're using theatrical thinking for streaming.
No, I was just trying to make a Windows point first. I'll come to that. I'm just saying that there, internationally, it is 2 months after PVOD.
हाँ,
So
ठीक है.
what Jyoti said, I read that
8
article
weeks,
that you
हाँ,
had.
हाँ.
I read all your articles. and
Very
I
innocent.
really thought that was a very powerful point.
Huh.
That 8 weeks is too short for SWOD. Because SWOD is free. Free. Relatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, even from the film fraternity's point of view, you made a movie. You want, you spend a lot of money. We've spent a lot of money. 6,500 crores we've invested in cinemas. You want your return as well. So people are willing to pay for content come out. But they know that 8 weeks ke baad, for a fraction it will be available. So this is very peculiar to India. It's not happening anywhere. People keep saying 47 days America mein bhi hai. Wo PVOD hai. SWOD is 3 months. SWOD, when it comes, no, but there the filmmakers are, they go crazy. Oh, my movie is going to be available for free in 8 weeks' time. They don't want to do it.
That's not done.
Yeah.
Okay, now we come to the average ticket prices. I understand that a lot of variables at play, but there is a not just a perception, but at some point, I think in the early part of the millennium when multiplexes took off, एक था कि भाई पिक्चरें सिर्फ मल्टीप्लेक्स के लिए बनने लगी थी because it got a certain audience and it had a certain pricing. I don't know how much that has changed and for what parts of the country, but there is a perception that multiplexes are expensive.
Yeah.
And then they skew the creative part of the business and they skew the consumer experience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how would you, as the man with the most number of screens, how would you react to that?
Completely disagree.
Obviously, you would. Your dhanda depends on
No,
that. But tell me.
because as I told you that, we are in so many cities now, I can't afford to outprice myself. And as I said, we've got ticket prices as low as 100 rupees to as high as 1,500 rupees because the whole objective of PVR, when I started off and the whole company is to get people out of their homes and the disparate demographic of India. So I want to get those people out as well who got fantastic home theaters at home and, who just don't care. They are more sensitive to experience. Is the food good or not? Is the seat luxurious or not? So that's one set of people. And that, by the way, is only 14% of my screens. So when people talk about perception, 14% of our screens are only above the ticket price of 350 rupees.
Okay.
The 86% of our screens are at 180 to 200 bucks. That's the kind of thing. That's a value proposition customer. So value proposition customer is my bread and butter. That's why 349 rupees passport. That's why 99 rupee F&B, this thing. So I think, by the way, the F&B volume has come down and even the ticket price volume has come down dramatically. But what we've noticed is that people are, of course, pricing is an important, no question about it. We're living in a country where
income inequality is very high. Yeah.
But people are time poor more than cash poor. I have done experiments with pricing as low as possible. What can be lesser than 85 rupees for an infrastructure like this? Yet, people have not come out. People don't get attracted only to price. They're saying, my 3 hours also give me something engaging.
उनको picture भी अच्छी चाहिए और price भी
Price पे चाहिए. So pricing is not the only thing that moves the needle, is all I'm trying to say.
But at 25, 26...
But this perception gets... doesn't this... the fact that my balance sheet and my P&L every quarter says my ATP is 260, remove this perception. People are not reading that or what?
No, but generally people... But you know what? I in fact, it was later, but I'm going to... There's a conflict, na? There's a conflict between us. If I was a shareholder in PVR, I cannot invest in media shares. If I was a shareholder, I would want you to give me better returns and more dividends and a higher share. But as a consumer of PVR, I want lower prices.
But I'm saying, what can be lower than 260?
No, but I'm saying, how does a company which is so consumer facing as you, how do you resolve? Because you're listed. So you have pressure from investors, which is why you're shutting down screens and opening them. You're shutting down. Remember, we talked about accretive screens.
That I'll come to later.
Yeah.
That also requires some explanation. Because उसमें कोई perception है. So that's what I'm doing. I have to fill up the cinemas. So that's why the 340. You're saying, what am I doing as a company? As a company, I've come out with this passport. In 1 month, you can watch 4 movies at 349. So what else can I do? That's one offer I've given.
Mm.
Then we have variable pricing, as I told you,
Mm.
because 100 rupees, Monday to Thursday is different pricing, weekend is different pricing.
Mm.
We're very sensitive to, what the consumer wants to pay. As I said, 260 is my ATP. You see, problem is that demographic of Mumbai
Mm.
and say Koramangala in Bangalore or a South Delhi, they only look at the neighborhood cinema that they go to
Mm.
and they extrapolate that for the entire country. But that's not
That's
what
not true.
I can't. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got 150 million people in our cinemas if I had outpriced myself.
But is it correct? And I know that I probably know the answer to this, but that 50%, let's say, or 52% of your revenue will come from box office.
No, more than that. 60%, 65 is box office.
65. Actually, because
Twen-
last number I looked at was
Yeah, I mean, give or take 60,
60,
65, 20, 25 F&B
Huh.
and 10% advertising.
So F&B and advertising bring other jam here
They
for
do,
you.
but the first thing is people coming in. You
Without
see,
that, F&B doesn't happen.
So
right?
basically, it's a binary. Binary maybe is not the right word because if there is another word for three things happening together, which is not binary or something else. So, so my revenues are that.
Hmm.
Or, the three things in tandem
Hmm.
are all governed by first people walking in. So my job and my entire team's job every single day is how do we increase footfalls?
Correct.
So we go crazy trying to increase footfall. So that's why, this pricing issue is nothing but a perception. We have discounted our pricing you can't even imagine
Mm.
because the only objectives because there's so many seats to fill up, so many shows to fill up. So how do we get people in? So now we're manufacturing footfalls. There's a new term that we've come out with where we got, I think about more than 200,000 people
Mm.
we got last month
Mm.
by doing corporate bookings, shows that people want to see, any movie that you want to see,
Mm.
these festivals
Mm.
of old movies.
Mm.
People want to see their wedding thing, they can see stand-up comedians, music festivals, because there was no movie.
So you have the infrastructure and you.
Yeah, so I'm just a
People-
venue.
Huh.
And that's why, that's one more point I want to make is that we've done experiments where everything is the same.
Mm.
The infrastructure is the same,
Mm.
like this
Mm.
or whatever.
Mm.
Ticket price is the same,
Mm.
and experience is the same.
Mhm.
Yet, why is there variability
Mm.
in the occupancies?
It's the quality of
It's the content. So therefore, content is what is causing variability.
Mm.
I've kept everything constant. So many experiments we have run. Let's talk about Chandigarh.
Mm.
You talking about Tamil Nadu. Chandigarh, the ticket prices are fixed.
Mm.
Why is there a variability there? Chandigarh, the ticket price is 150.
Mm.
So variability is caused by content, not ticket pricing.
अगर टिकट प्राइसिंग को निकाल दूं और एफएमबी प्राइसिंग पे आऊं तो
99 rupees unlimited offer. That is over now.
Mm.
People, in fact, I've got videos of
Mm.
customers coming,
Mm.
not watching the movie, and
Taking
filling up and going.
popcorn.
Please, can we not just make the company look bad?
No. Not at all.
I'll,
Yeah.
you know what they've done?
Huh?
They have picked up popcorn.
Huh?
But father is telling the children,
हाँ.
इसको भरो,
हाँ.
बाहर चलते हैं. वो कहता है मैंने पिक्चर देखनी है. इसको तो लो पहले. They're filling it up. It's spilling. Then they're gulping it down, then again filling it up. When we did the 99 rupee offer, when I saw that video,
Huh.
multitude of videos like that, multitude.
Hmm.
People just going crazy,
Huh.
filling up again and again. पता है इतने पेट में जगह भी नहीं इतना खा रहे हैं और पी रहे हैं. Then I said, yaar, you know what? Let's
This is
stop it.
Huh.
Some Gautam Datta says, sir, don't worry.
Huh.
Let's not stop it.
Huh.
Because now at least nobody will ever say कि pricing is high. Because the hero items are only two, popcorn and Pepsi.
Huh.
बाकी तो peripheral है.
Huh.
इसी की सबसे ज्यादा कंप्लेंट थी.
Hmm.
अब वही हमने 99 रुपीस का अनलिमिटेड कर लिया.
Hmm.
तो फिर अब क्या, why should there be any noise now? You can't do lesser than that. There's an infrastructure.
Yeah.
When you go to a hotel,
Hmm.
if you look, you can't compare me from a street vendor.
Correct.
Because I think it is extremely obvious
Hmm.
that there's an environment in which you're sitting
Correct.
and having that popcorn Pepsi.
Totally. Okay, to come back to the theatrical business, what has streaming done to your business? If I was to look at it in the short term, at 2016 it hit us, but I think it really impacted during COVID. What has it done? And how do you see it also in the, not just on the theatrical business, but in the, since you're such a big, important part of the movie ecosystem, what do you think it is doing to the cinema in general?
Actually, there are a lot of answers to that. First, I would say that pre-COVID, it's like BCAD हो गया,
बिल्कुल
pre-COVID,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
post-COVID.
बिल्कुल
कि pre-COVID, it was just another form of home entertainment.
Mhm.
And not that I'm that old, I'm 57, but I've seen 84 mein, when Dad had single screen cinema, how badly we got impacted by video, VHS. So
yeah
we acquired the cinema in 67. No, sorry, 71. Priya. So तब से हमने देखा VHS आ गया.
साकेत पाला
नहीं, वसंत विहार. वसंत विहार.
okay
So उसमें जब VHS आए तो प्रॉब्लम आ गई. Then DVDs came, then LDs came, all that sort of stuff. Then color TV, then satellite. Satellite. So many channels. So streaming was nothing but one more avatar of home entertainment, and people were quite comfortable watching TV shows. So streaming was not affecting us that much because I was still running with 1,300 screens at packed, very good occupancies. EBITDA margins were high. ROC was very good, and I was on a treadmill to open 200-300 screens a year. But post-COVID or during COVID, two things happened. One, the windows collapsed because suddenly even the streamers did not have any content because obviously shootings were not happening. But there were this backlog of films and TV shows or films also that the producers were sitting on. Now producers are very mom and pop in India, quite a few. So their holding cost is very high. So to be honest, I did not blame them for selling their content because they need to monetize it. So here is a streaming service. कितना तुम देखोगे वो पता नहीं Spanish show कौन सा आ रहा था, I don't remember, during COVID. People kept watching that only. There were a lot of these shows, huh?
Money Heist.
Money Heist. मतलब, if you look at it, there was a dearth of content. इतना कुछ नहीं था. So then, therefore, and these producers wanted to monetize, and these guys wanted content. So a very unusual thing happened that brand new movies started going to streaming service. So the taste that people had for TV shows only, which is watching a movie or a story unfold over 13 episodes or 3-4 seasons, suddenly they got that quick fix of content which they were getting on the big screen, also on the small screen. So that disrupted us. So people said, यार पिक्चर तो घर पे भी देख सकते हैं. Because हम 18 महीने बंद ही थे. We were shut for 18 months. They didn't have a choice. I did not have. First, it bothered me. Oh my God, Akshay's movie has gone there, or Gunjan Saxena has gone there, or something has gone there. Bothered me a little bit. But then I said, you know what? It's okay. At least money is flowing back into the system. So I had a very contrarian view. I said, if money is flowing back to the system, at least the producer is making money. So when I open, he'll have money to make movies now. So it's okay. But I didn't realize that while the film fraternity was still okay, and they could still make movies and they could monetize on the big screen or on the streaming services, but the consumer habit changed a lot. So I think that if you ask me, streaming post-COVID is taking longer than anticipated. I don't think it's going to be there forever because going out, otherwise again, 900 million people would have not seen movies in the first year, 9 million would have not seen in the second year. So that going out habit is definitely there. But definitely, I think the supply side disruption is what is impacted. So streaming that's and certain sliver of a consumer demographic, jinki habit change ho gayi hai. So that's impacted our business. The certain supply side disruption, and then these disruptions are also unwarranted. I mean, I don't want to go into this. Suddenly, this unexpected, suddenly the strike happened in the US. So again, the movies became from 170 odd movies that Hollywood was making came down to 60-70 movies. So again, it got impacted. So that's something I'm looking for, one full year where everything is normal. So streaming has impacted me to that extent that one segment, one sliver of the consumer has become comfortable in his couch to watch. And also has this perception about 8 weeks कि एकदम आ जाएगी. होता नहीं है. In fact, I was sitting with Amir the other day in Delhi. He was saying Lapata Ladies could have done much better. But people just were sure कि वो अभी आ जाएगी. वो 8 हफ्ते के बाद आई.
It's funny, I saw that film in the theater and loved it.
Yeah.
My husband and I saw it. And nobody knew it in my circle when I discussed it. And few weeks later, suddenly it's trending. Everybody discovered Lapata Ladies.
Actually, that's a
on
case
Netflix.
study of how I don't know how that movie got missed, because 12th Fail did not. There were certain other films also. I mean, Amir is a dear friend, so maybe there was some marketing issue. Could be. I don't think there's anything. The way we released the movie, the way we the platform release,
Hmm.
everything that we did was exactly the same. But I think that communication about streaming really got exacerbated, and suddenly people said, "Acha, ab to aane wali hai,
Yeah.
to maa dekh lenge." But to that effect, streaming has affected us. But I also think it's affected us positively, because now the streaming players that I know of, at least, they want the theatrical performance to happen first before they start bidding for the movie.
Absolutely.
So that
Absolutely.
is a fabulous thing that has happened. It is forcing filmmakers to make a movie that is good.
Hmm.
It is and for it to perform theatrically.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not privy to it, but I've been told there are clauses
Hmm.
which are related to the performance of the theatrical. So that's what I'm saying. There's a very long answer.
Hmm.
There are positives, and then there are things which are impacting. But this part is fabulous. Now you have to watch the movie theatrically. The quantitative and the qualitative benchmark of the movie has to get set,
Hmm.
and then only it'll get bought by the streaming services.
Hmm.
There's a study that was done by NATO just now, National Association of Theatre Owners
Hmm.
in America,
Hmm.
where movies which have done well theatrically are the ones people want to
Watch.
watch. It's very obvious. अगर कोई मूवी पता लगा, ओ ये तो पिक्चर पे सिनेमा पे भी नहीं चली थी, you don't want to spend the 2-3 hours with your family, even at home or alone, to
बिल्कुल.
watch it, because you knew it did not do well. Suddenly you see in Prime or Netflix anywhere a movie that did very well, but you missed out. Like I had missed out on Manjuman
Huh.
Boys. I'd missed it. Madgaon Express, people told me it's a laugh riot.
Huh.
And I love Excel's movies anyway. So मैंने कहा यार वो तो miss हो गई.
Huh.
तो देखते हैं. I loved them both.
Hmm.
I saw them both at home
Hmm.
because I missed them on the theatrical. So I think theatrical, that way streaming is very good
Hmm.
because it forces filmmakers to make content which is good and does well at theatrically.
No, you're absolutely right, because in
Yeah.
TV also the films which got the best prizes for their rights are the ones which did well theatrically.
Correct.
In
Correct.
Malayalam cinema, I just
Yeah.
did some work on Malayalam cinema. One of the biggest reasons that cinema has revived is because it started depending back on theatre. It had become too dependent on streaming.
Correct.
It went back to the theatres because streaming companies said, we'll not pick you up if you
Correct.
don't work.
Correct. Correct.
And that's what led the
Yeah,
revival.
that's right.
Okay, speaking of theatrical success, one of the big questions which I come across, and and especially because India has done so well at Cannes, with Payal Kapadia's film, is this whole thing of support system for indies. I know it is not necessarily a question which PVR can answer, but chains like yours, what is it that you could be doing for indies to work in India? And I remember being part of some discussions at GeoMami also, some roundtables with Anurag Kashyap and a lot of these people. And there was this whole question of there's so much stuff there, but can theatrical chains support this in
Yeah,
the
of course.
off season? How does it work?
We've been supporting like crazy. I mean, just now we did Manthan, and any movie. You see, anything that comes along, I need to show content. I need to fill up these seats. So I think with the Shivendra Dungapur also,
Yeah.
Whatever
Restoration.
is happening. If any movie comes, which is critically acclaimed, we give it massive support, whatever is needed. So I love, because we're also, any cinema operator has to be a movie buff first. If it's not a movie buff, I don't think you should be in this business. So we support, if the movie is available, it's programmed, we want to make sure that it's a platform release, because, and we have to program it right, we have to distribute it right. So we also run PVR Pictures, which distributes all indie movies. I mean, all these Hollywood films like One Life, so many movies. Every year we pick about 20-25 movies. The key is to program it and schedule it correctly. You can't put it in a 500-seater cinema, and release 500 prints. You have to be very careful. The way we did 12th Fail, the Lapata Ladies, we only distributed. The way you release it in a few auditoriums, you release it in those demographics. As I said, India is a very, very disparate market. Half the people you say, did you like RRR? They said yes. Another half you said, oh yeah, I didn't understand the movie. But I did so well. So you have to be very careful that who are you addressing?
Yeah.
And that the person that you're addressing, the movie must be released next to his neighborhood. It can't be released anywhere else.
But is there a system, you talked about demographic and programming it to the right demographic. How much of this understanding of the consumer that you have, and you guys must be sitting on tons of data.
Yeah,
I think I've asked you this question before.
नहीं, वो तो, but if I don't know that, then I...
नहीं, ये बाहर क्रिएटर्स की तरफ या स्टूडियोज के पास जाता है किसी फॉर्मेट में, ये डेटा, ये फीडबैक, ये कंज्यूमर.
That's a very good question. I'm very keen to share a lot. We've done extensive number of consumer surveys in the last 1 year, and it is shocking that what feedback, and that data is so important that we want to now share it with the We tell them informally,
Mm.
but we haven't done it in a very formal manner.
Mm.
I'm keen to do it this year. I went to see a cinema, a company called CJ in
Mm.
South Korea.
Yeah.
They're very good.
CJ
So
Shopping Network, I remember.
Very good they are. They collate 6 months data or annual data.
Mhm.
I was part of one of the invitations, and they tell the whole film fraternity exactly what the consumer likes, doesn't like, length of the movie, genre of the movie, everything.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I think
That's
that
the kind of data
that-
I would
I think
love to
we
see.
will be
from-
doing that shortly now. I think
Yeah.
we will be provided people are there to listen.
And last question on revenue share is that has that question been settled with studios and
It's
or
settled
it's
now,
not?
it's settled. I
There's
think we've all come out of a period where I think Windows is the only thing bothers
personally
me.
would worry.
That will help everybody, according to me,
Mm.
because if this perception goes away, I said Lapata Ladies, if it not got released in 8 weeks, and by the time the word of mouth spread that there is a good movie, it just sort of came on Netflix. I think Windows P-Word should be 8 weeks,
Mm.
and I think S-Word should be 12 weeks.
Oh.
According to me.
Super.
Yeah, I don't know how many people will hear this and they'll get upset with my statement, but that's what I feel.
When you say P-word, you mean pay-per-view kind of thing?
Yeah, the P-Word is paid video on demand,
Demand,
or some people call it T-Word, transactional video on demand.
Which is what Amazon does, I
Correct,
think,
correct.
with like they did it for Top Gun or something.
That's right. That's right.
Correct. Lovely. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much for giving us time,
Of course, thanks.
Ajay.
Thanks. Yeah.
And nice to have you on Beyond the Box Office. See
Thank
you again.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me here. Thanks.